Okay, here, yeah. Okay, so well, today I'm just going to keep on working on corporation stuff. I did kind of finish the voting system, so for now we can create new shares for corporations. Item locking is something that is not implemented at all anywhere in the emulator, so that will have to wait a little bit. General votes in theory should already be handled because they don't really have anything that you can do on them. It's just getting a couple of options here and there and get the winning option pretty much. Unlocking blueprints, the same thing, that's not supported yet. Member kicking, I haven't looked into that one yet at all. Like you cannot, I don't even think that you can leave a corporation at this point, so that's something that we will need to work on later on when we have more systems in place. So for now, what I'm going to work is on offices. So you can rent an office, you can pay the next bill, but there's no real billing involved. So there's no issuing new bills, there's no automatic paying of bills, there's no way to get the offices impounded when you don't pay the bills. So I've started adding support for impounded already. I already have some database fields that will handle that. So what we have to do now is figure out how to notify the player that an office is not rented anymore. And okay, so the first thing is canceling or unrenting, how it's called in the old client, unrenting an office. That way we can test both office expiring and asset impounding stuff, because it will be the same code for both. So let's see. I already did some testing and some tries to get at least things kind of dialed in. So this is the office renting function. So yeah, after that one we can put the console rent of office. This code actually doesn't require any parameter because can only be done from the same station where the office is. And just for the sake of being sure, let's just look up the usages. Yeah, it's just used once. So so yeah, it's checking if there's any items in it, because it shows a different message based on whatever is in the office. So yeah, that one can be easily implemented. The things that we have to take into account is that offices are inventories, so we need to notify whoever has the ownership of that inventory, whichever node it is, to let it know, hey, this office is being impounded, so you have to update things in your caching memory. So for that, we will actually need to look into how the office inventories work, because I don't remember off the top of my head. Get inventory for location, that's not the right thing, and pretty sure that I cannot look into this without restarting the client. So yeah, let's just do that. Okay. Let's just get in. So let's just open the corporation. Maybe I can clear this and open it. Yes, get inventory from ID and then list and get item. Okay, so then how can that work? I'm guessing that it is sending the ID of the... Oh, sorry. It is sending the ID of the... Get inventory from ID. Inventory broker. I should be able to get all the calls to that. Yes. Oh, it's only get inventory. Oh yeah, because then it returns a normal inventory object. So yeah, it's actually okay. Yeah, it's using the office. Wait, this called yeah. So it's this one. This is from 180. 180. Is it the office folder? Let me just double check. Um, 180. That's a low ID. Type ID, owner ID 1, location ID 192. That's not from the office. This is flag 9. (1385). Inventory types 1385. 1385. So that's the character's inventory. What? Yeah, I'm guessing that that's not the filter is not right. Okay. Yeah, it's this one. Okay. Yeah, that's the office folder ID. That one matches what I was thinking. It should have. Okay, so let me just lower the volume a little bit more, otherwise I hear the music too much. Okay, so that gets access to the office folder 201. Yeah, number I type 8026 flag 1338, which is an office. Actually that flag can be changed because we do have the full office folder, right? Office slot forms. Oh no, we don't. Passenger, crew, ship hangar, drone bay, bonus, factory operations, secondary storage, captain quarters, specialized something, clone office. I mean, it should be briefcase. That's the flag that it should be using for the offices. I mean, it doesn't matter because the client doesn't really know about it, so whatever. So yeah, that's opening the office folder, so it can see what's in it, and then that just creates a normal inventory object that can be accessed through. That can give access to the items. So the function list and the function get item, they just return information about the items that there are in that office and the division's hangar. So this is just information about the office folder itself. Continue group ID, category ID, custom info. Okay. So then how am I supposed to notify the client? This I mean, I guess that just destroying the moving it to location 0 or 1 might be enough, so it realizes that the item is being removed even though it's not. It's just we're just removing access to it for the players. The only thing that I'm not sure about is how to handle that in the corporation station manager, because we do have to update things at some point. It's just that if we defer them and try to do them as late as possible, it might benefit the implementation, but I'm not so sure we can do that. Number of unrented offices. Because, for example, office renting wouldn't be updated unless any of the corporation members join. So a corporation can have an office there for many years if they don't log in. Okay, so corporation manager, get items rented. What is this function doing? Okay, this is just getting the rented offices, essentially. And this one is not bound. The only bound service is corp registry. Okay. I'm guessing that there's an already in them, so I can just check if that's loaded and notify the node that has ownership of it before anything happens. I'm guessing that's the best way of approach it. Okay, yeah, I thought someone was banging on the door. Okay, so, and then the client, I guess that just sending a destroy notification would be enough. I will have to double check that. For now, let's just check at the inventory. Yeah, a corpse should be enough. Corporation change, member change, office rented. So, what is this notification used for actually? So this is sending it to the node that has the station, right? No, the corporation ID itself. What? Oh yeah, because we have to update the players. This parts row set. I don't know about today. That's why that's there. Okay, that makes sense. So yeah, then adding an office expired notification will be enough with the office folder ID and the office folder ID should be enough. Okay. Will that affect the assets window? Well, not the assets window, but the corporation assets. There is lockdown, deliveries in space, offices and impounded. Impounded, okay. Who has access to corporation assets, by the way? Do we have any specific role account? Well, yeah, we do have hangar access though. Okay. Hangar access based at order. Okay, hangar access. So I'm guessing that this character won't have access to them. Contract manager, director, service personnel manager. Okay. Contract, config, communications officer, auditor, accountant. Station service, rent office, rent research facility, security officer, station manager, trader, and then accounting. Okay, so in theory, if I log in another of my accounts, I should be able to test that actually. Second, Kira. Let's see. Is that one in there? Second Kira. Yeah, that's the running account. Okay. So here, that's Kira. Okay. Okay, what permissions does another one have? Feeding manager only. Okay, so no access to hangars. Okay. Let's see. Expected at least one rollback, but couldn't get any, and that's for corporation shares get. Okay. That's part of the last changes that I did. And that's on can view boats. Okay. Yeah, that function is not returning what it should. It should return 0 if there's nothing in them. So corporation select shares from corporation shares where owner ID equals something and corporation ID equals something. I have to return one value, otherwise that won't be useful. So how can I do that actually? Operation shares get. Well, I can just do declare shares integer 10 unsigned, that should be fine, into shares, and then do default 0, and then just to select underscore shares. Well, I'm not sure if default is the right thing there. Close all but this. Okay, run, and then can I call it call corporation shares get? Let's just try 2 IDs that don't exist in the corporation shares table. Okay, so I get 0, and what happens if I try to get where's corporation shares? Corporation shares here. And if I try with this owner ID and this corporation ID, hopefully I haven't. Well, they are the same. Whatever. Okay, so that works. All right, yeah, that fixes it. Then let's just save this and make sure that it's up in the repository. Fix it. Corporation shares get when no shares below. Sign off commit and push. Okay, so let's just get back to what I was doing before. So if okay, let's just restart this client first so it doesn't look that bad. Kira. Okay, yeah, so now it doesn't crash. I do have Eve mail. Interesting. Oh yeah, the welcome mail. Whatever. So yeah, so there's no access to the assets. Requires accountant role. Okay, so you can see the assets even if you don't have any Hangar access. So it's just accountant. Thus, then what happens if we try the junior accountant role? Let's just give him another one dot role. Okay, so that one doesn't seem to do anything, and if I give him the accountant one, yes, I want to select the world division, Okay, so all the accountants have access to this. Okay. And then you can P-Market Diesels, deliver it to someone's hangar. I mean, I guess that I can move it to the second. What did happen here? Did it really move or no, it didn't? Yeah, because I'm not there, I guess. So that's something that has to be done. Okay. So corporation assets. Then we will have to notify first the characters that have access to any of the hangars, I guess. Otherwise, we won't be able to close this window for them. And also the accountants to let them know that the corporate. Well, no, they are not even updated by notification. So this is just cached data. So it doesn't really matter. It's already warned in there. Deliveries, lockdown, and search. Okay, so then the only real notification that we need to do is with for the inventory closing, and that's it. That makes it easier to implement. I thought that there was like some information here that would be required. Is the deliver to Corp hangar not implemented? No, it's not. Deliver to Corp hangar. Oh yeah, this one wasn't supported by Live, so I didn't bother with it. But yeah, we'll have to check this just to make sure. Actually, I can just check it right now. Let's just take this. Deliver to Corporation Hangar, second division. Yeah, it's not implemented. And what happens if I try to deliver it to myself? Yes, so to members it does work. Yeah. Where's the charges? Antimatter charges. This is the one that I'm using. I'm going to test the. I have to wait until this blueprint is unlocked, I think, but I have to test the unrenting office thing to make sure that how it works. But based on the UI, I think the way that I'm going at is the right way. So, then we don't need to notify anyone about the office chain. Well, just the. Well, we'll need to notify the players, so that office is not in the list anymore because there's a role set here that has a list of offices. So we will have to notify the players that this is not there anymore. But that's already a mechanism that we kind of have already. It's just reusing some code. But this should be closed too, so that should go to the players. Okay. So Corp Station Manager. Okay. Console rent of office. Occupation office rented, then that's here, which handles the notification there. And then that just builds the change. Do we have a way of notifying a removal? Primary key, type ID, station ID, office folder ID. Okay, yeah, so I can just let's just duplicate this unrented. The same notification is fine. It's just, I mean, it's going to have the same rented. It's going to have the same name everywhere. The only thing is that we don't need corporation ID. Well, we should be having corporation ID, yes, because that's going to make it easier to find what corporate registry instance we're talking about. So yeah, corporation office rented. Let's just duplicate this. I mean, it's going to be simpler than this one, but office unrented, unrented, and then I have to find the object, make sure that office sparse routed is not null, and then just to remove row and then get the office folder. So office folder and corporation ID are the only things needed. Station ID and type ID is not needed for anything, so we can ignore that one, those two. And then this one is going to have this can be removed. It's going to be the first, oops, it's going to be 2. Okay, and this can be removed, and this has to be updated to this call, to this name. Corporation ID, office folder ID. That's the right thing. Office. Did I really make the changes in the wrong file? Crap. Okay, let me just go to the right file now. So station ID and type ID are out. This is out. This is the 2 elements. One office folder ID. There's just 2 elements in it. Here is out, 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 there. Okay. So that should handle the notification for the office and renting thing. We also have to notify the owner of the inventory for that to be properly handled. Let's just implement the call for this. Okay. There we go. Oh, this notification should be... I'll do that later. Alright, so office unrented, and that will update just the office rows sparset, which sparse rowset, so that she'll refresh the UIs for everyone. I can actually do this the other way around. Service manager, corporate registry, fitness of subject, change dot corporation ID, corporate registry, service equals false, return if service dot office pass rowset is null, return. That way we do return earlier instead of having this nesting here, and then I can just do this. Then do this, do it like this. Actually this one could be the same, so let's just change it. Um, okay, null propagation. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's better than having an if, actually. I always forget that that operator exists. Okay, so that should take care of the renting notification. Where's Corp Station Manager? We do have to check if we have the required roles. I think that it's the same thing, the director or can't rent office. Yeah, I feel like that's the right one. First let me just look up the translations for if apocrypha. I should have them somewhere in here. To make sure that that if there's any notification about you cannot do that. Maybe it's on the same place as this one. Oh, that's not the right file. Hold on. The other one should be on my desktop. Likely. Okay. TMP Marshall. No, that's not the right thing. I don't remember where the translations are right now. There should be somewhere in here. EMU, if messages, exceptions. This is the right. But it's not formatted. What the hell? I used to have one with all the exceptions properly formatted. Oh, it's this one. Okay. So let's just search this one. Oops. So renting office. For renting. Okay. There's actually a request denied here. Renting a slot costs more. Renting an office costs more. Renting, you have an office here. The package before selling. Okay, so there's really no there seems to be no notification for that. Okay, as pay office rental fee. Next. Corp can't set HQ as no real estate here. Only director can cancel rent. That's the thing that I was looking for. Okay, so only director can cancel rent. That's the thing. Okay, so let's just take this to requirements, put them in there, and then I'm just going to create this access denied. You have to be a director of the corporation in order to cancel the rental agreement for an office. Okay, so that can only be done by the director. That's fine. Where's the exceptions for the client? Here, right? Exceptions, yeah. Corp registry. Let me just duplicate the long one. Oh, actually, this one should be fine. Let's just name it the same way as this. Okay. And let's just call it this, this, and this. That's perfect. And now we can just throw the right exception here. That's handled automatically by the attributes. Okay, so next thing, we do have the permissions checks in place. You actually have one for insert new insert vote case. Let me just make sure that that's being used. Yes, it is. Perfect. Okay, so whoops, I closed the. Oh yeah, it's here. So next thing, checking if we have office here. That's just doing this like that. But instead of call session station ID, but instead of doing you have an office here, there should be something about you don't have an office here. Let's just try to see if there's anything. Jump criminal confirm. Yeah, no office at station is the right one, I guess. Just copy this one. I think that one is already implemented at somewhere, used somewhere else. But yeah, yeah, Open Copenhagen Hangar. That one is better. The corporation, well, not such hangar. The corporation you are a member of doesn't have an office in this station. Association RAM Corp. Okay. RAM remote install not in office. Renting an office cost more. Rent office quote given against your equivalent. Renting office request denied. Renting you have an office here. Let me just make this bigger. Unable to create a storefront at the specified location. Your storefront is located at a station where your corporation has an office. Okay. Storefronts. I don't remember that being a thing. Storefronts in the office. The operation of this storefront has been suspended. The criminal confirmable commissions. Office now. Okay. Okay, so let's just I don't remember the name of the exception. No office at the station. That's better than the hangar one because it's not an hangar all the time. So no office at the station, it's not there, it doesn't exist. Okay, so it doesn't require any parameters anyway, so I can just copy and duplicate one of the other ones that I was using. Did I put that one in corp registry? That should be in Corp Station Manager, actually. Wrong folder. Let's just move it to the right namespace, and then I can actually just duplicate this one. Just take this name. Okay. With that, we make sure that there's an office in the station. Can I get the office folder? It would be the best if we could get the office ID, like the office folder ID. Let me just check what this function is doing. Select corporation ID from corporation offices where station ID equals something. Read. Oh, okay, yeah, it's just checking if there's any data back. Okay. I mean, I can just make this return the ID in here if we want it. but ideally I should make this function. Let me just think for a second here. How's the best way to approach this? 85, 86, corporation, office, get at station.sql. That will be a decent name. Corporation ID, station ID, corporation office, get at station. Gets the office folder ID of the office at the given station, if any. And then I can just do select office folder ID from corporation offices, where corporation ID equals corporation ID and station ID equals station ID. That should give me just one, and I can use this one for either getting the okay, yeah. I can just use the result instead of just doing it like I'm doing now. And create a function that just returns the I mean, I don't like creating two functions for the same thing. Well, let's call the same database function, but yeah. Just where's the extensions here? Where's the okay? So there's no station DB here. Let's just create it. Guess that I can use an integer. Yeah, that should be enough. I have to test this because I haven't used any nullable types yet in the database code. Station ID, and then database.scalar integer that. Office folder ID equals database dot corporation offices get at station, corporation ID, station ID. If office folder is null, then I can just throw this exception, otherwise I can just keep on going. Okay, and then I should actually update this to use the same function there. So if database.corporation office get at station called session corporation ID, station ID is null, then I can just do this. Hopefully that scalar function handles that properly, because I'm not sure if it does it. Okay, so office folder ID, now we are sure that it has a value in it, and we have the right folder. So the next thing is just getting where that item is located at. And I also have to check if there's a we have to remove a bill if there is. So remove bill if it exists. Check for any items inside the office to impound it, and finally and then if there's no assets in it, then we can just destroy it. The only thing that I'm kind of worried about is that items moved, I don't think they are saved. Yeah, I don't think they are saved at the same time that you move them. I'm not sure. I will have to check the code just to make sure. Bound inventory. Just check it, because I don't remember off the top of my head, and that's kind of important because it's going to determine how the thing is implemented. So I get free high slot. That's not important. That's just finding things. Move item here, for example. So it changes flags, it changes things. On item change, it sends notifications. Yeah, so it's persistent, the changes every time that we do move the items. Not ideal, but the best for security. So that way every server knows the data is up to date. So then we can rely on the database data to know if we have to impound the office or not. So first things is just to remove the bills. I'm not really going to take it into, like, I'm not going to really I'm not really going to care too much about them. I'm just going to remove them if they are linked, and that's it. And just notify all the accountants in the corporation. Okay, so let's just check. I do have the accountant role, so let me just remove it for this player. I want to check if the access to the bills is also for junior accountants. Unknown columns. I have to check that. What? That was working before. Okay. Yeah, I have to check if there's any thing that the junior accountant can do with the offices or with the bill. Sorry. And this is not the right player that I have to be edited. This is the one. So let's just remove. Oh, it has junior. Let's just remove the accountant role. I shouldn't be able to take any money because I'm not the. Interesting. That did it get desynced? Let me just relog in and make sure, because I'm not sure what's going on here. I think that it got desynced for some reason. Okay, so and another one. Yeah, it did get desynced. That's a problem. Oh, I'll look into it. And there's many of those issues around here, so I'm not surprised. Okay, so yeah, I have to notify the junior accountants too. And I'm guessing that anyone that has the can take or can query role 2. Let me just apply this. So now I shouldn't be able to access the wallet for the corporation. So let's say that I apply this one, and it got desynced again. Okay, that's something funky going on there. That's if sessions for you. Okay, and another one. Okay. So I'm guessing that this is just only affects things like well, it will make sense for market usages. So in fact, I may not be able to let's see, what items do we have here. Let's just try to sell this item. Oh yeah, I don't have the jump stable imported, but yeah, I feel like this is just for the market people. So then junior accountant. Okay, it seems to have been synchronized just fine. And then if I give it the accountant role, I should be able to see everything. Okay, I remove it, apply, and the buttons are not do not disappear. This might be because of the session change, although I'm not seeing the session change timer. It's not there anymore. It's not there, so okay, that's questionable. But yeah, the junior accountant can see the bills, so we should be notifying I'm guessing both junior accountants and accountants. Notify corporation by role, then I can just do corporation role accountant, junior accountant. Those you should get a notification. And the same thing has to happen with notify bill received. This forces an update of the wallet window if open and on the right tab. Okay, and then we can just remove the bill. Let's see. Create a new procedure. So this is going to be 87. Corporation. Okay, corporation office. Stop billing.sql. Yeah, something like that would be enough. Corporation office stop billing. Then corporation ID, station ID will be enough. Destroys any bill pending on the given corporations. Well, I have to use the office folder ID. That way will be easier. Office folder ID. Destroys any bill pending on the given corporations. The given office folder ID. Okay, so that will be the delete from. Let me just check what the market bills table looks like. Let's see. So it has debtor, creditor, amount, paid, external ID. Okay, so creditor amount. Okay, and what is in the order table? Corporation offices. So next bill ID is wrong. That should be the bill that is created already. So I should remove and set it to impounded. That will be Okay. So let's see. Where's the Sublime text? Whoops. I also have to close Steam. Oh. So let's just see. First, delete from market bills where bill ID equals, well, in select next bill ID from corporation offices where office folder ID equals office folder ID. That will remove the bills for it, and then we will have to update the corporation offices, CRP offices, set next bill ID equals 0 where office folder ID equals office folder ID. There we go, and then I can use where's the station, the new station DB here. Okay, public static void corporation, what was the name, stop billing, query procedure, and then I can just do function, the procedure function name, then I can just do office folder ID, like that should be enough, and that return is not needed there. So that will get rid of the database corporation office stop billing, and then I can use to office folder ID. It's not a signal of parameter integer. I've already checked that it's not null, so casting should be fine. Okay, remove the bill, notify whoever has to be notified of the bill change, and then I went to get something to drink. Okay, so what's left is just checking if there's any, if the item is loaded anywhere, and notify that node if it's required. We also have to notify the node about the change, like not the node, but the node that has the corporation object. So that's finally notify the node about the rental change, so the sparse row set is updated, and then we don't need these two fields here, and rented. Whoops, I used the wrong thing. This one is not needed, this one is not needed either. And rented here, okay, and then that. And instead of item node ID, that will be integer office folder ID there. And now we just have to check for impounding stuff and notify the node. So I feel like the best route of action would be to just can I we don't have to notify anyone but the ones that have that, so I can just check if there's any items in it up to the impound flag. Otherwise I can just remove the items from the database. Yeah, that should be the implementation. I don't think it's going to be much more complex than this. So check for any items inside the office to impound it. I can actually leave that for the database completely. Can call create a corporation office destroy or impound function. That will be enough. 188 corporation office destroy or impound.sql. And the only thing that the nodes need to know is to unload it and let everyone know that that object is gone. I feel like that should be enough. Let me just double check the source code for a moment here. Just to make sure that there's nothing not on office something that frees the thing, because that might be better approach than just notifying of something being gone. On office rental changes. Okay, so let's see. Corporation ID is not equal to corp ID. Oh, it's actually notifying everyone in the station. That's why this check is here, so it doesn't open the window for everyone, just for... Okay. That's actually something that I didn't think of. And I already have the notification in there. Then am I sending this to everyone in the station? Notify owner at location. Yeah, that's not right. Office ID, folder ID. That should be notify station and notify just the station ID. That will be the right way to do it. We don't have to notify everyone in the corporation because the corporation is notified by the Sparse role set. Okay. And then I guess that we have to do the same thing here. I just have to check notify everyone in station that the office folder doesn't exist anymore. That's something that we can handle here. I have to check what parameters I do need to send here because the code is checking for office ID and folder ID is not known to add in them, but for removing I have to check what is needed. Okay, corporation, so just taking the corporation ID, I can just send well, yeah, it makes sense. You can only have one office by corporation, so you can just send that without the... Okay, then I can just send that as null instead. I don't have to send any value there. Call session station ID. Okay, then yeah, corporation ID is enough without office folder and office ID. It looks fine to me. And now for the impounding of I mean, I could just make this one do the whole work. So stop billing. I will rename it to... Wait, office is right. Yeah, I feel like this is just corporation office destroy or impound. Will be the best name. So I'm gonna give an office folder ID and impounds anything in it. So that will be deleting the bills if there's any, then updating the corporation offices to remove the next build ID. Now what I will need to do is just check if there's any items inside it. So that will be select account will be enough. From inventory items, where location ID equals office folder ID. That will be enough to get the items inside it. Just create a new variable. Declare item count. Big integer will be, yeah. Then I can do this into item count. And then if I don't remember how ifs in SQL work, but item count equals 0. Then else, and if was it like this? Wait, let me just double check how SQL if. I don't remember how it works, to be honest. It's been quite some time since I've done any actual database programming. If condition, then okay, and then the end if is the one that has the semicolon. If else, the same thing. So the end if is the one that has a semicolon, and then everything else doesn't. Okay, then end if, and we've said that the end if is separated. Yes. Okay. So then, whoops, Steam again. So if item count is 0, then we can use delete from corporation offices, where office folder ID equals office folder ID. And then we can just do the same thing for inventory items, where item ID equals office folder ID. Otherwise, if there's items in it, then we have to update the corporation offices, have to update the impounded flag, so nothing is removed. Office folder ID. So okay, delete the bill. Set the next bill ID to 0, just so we keep track of things. That has to be updated though. The next bill ID is not always right. Then we can select how many items are in there. If there's no items, then just remove the office and the items. If there's any, then just impound the office folder. That's the only thing. I will have to check how then the client shows the items. That's something that we'll have to test. There's no other way of telling, because this should be showing the items here. So I'm guessing that it's just taking get asset inventory, and then this gets asset inventory for location. Let me just check what that function is doing. It's just listing the assets based on something. Okay, so then that should be this very same function should work in theory, because if it's impounded or not doesn't matter. It's going to be inside an office folder. Okay, and I also have to check what happens if you try to rent an office somewhere where you have impounded items. I'm not too sharp today. Okay, let's just run this. So now let's just rename the function to this, call it with this. Okay, destroy the office or impound it if there's any items in it. Actually, I do have to send a notification. Notify the owner of the office folder ID to close it. I do have to send this notification first. Otherwise we cannot, and actually this one too. So I'm guessing that first we notify the client, then we notifies the node to close the object. That way the client in theory should already be closing the window anyway. Then we destroy the office or impound the objects, and then nothing else. Yeah, I think that's it pretty much. Notify the owner of the office folder to close it. So let's just use office node id equals database inventory get item node office folder id, and then we can change this to corporation node id. Okay, so then if office folder office node id is greater than 0, notify, and notifications notify node. It's going to be the office node id, and for now I'm just going to leave a null here. I have to write a new notification for that, but I do have to validate it first, just to make sure that I'm not missing anything. Why is it complaining here? Okay, station. Let me just rename this to stations db. It should be, I mean, it shouldn't be even stations db, but for now, just to keep it a bit sane, doing this, keeping that naming. The database layer was rewritten pretty recently, so there's still a lot of code that needs to be migrated to the new way. Okay, so notifying the owner of the item. What notifications do we have? Can we use something already? That we already have. Corporation office renter, corporation changed, corporation member changed, on item changed, handle on item update. This one might be the if the item was just loaded, there's extra things to take into account. Well, I only need to destroy the bound object. So maybe I can use tell it hey, destroy this object. For that I can just create a new notification nodes. Let's just create a services notification will be enough. Let's just copy on item change. Oops, I shouldn't have clicked on that, but whatever. Move it to the right thing. This won't be on item change. This will be on bound inventory destroyed. That's not the right name. What about on? Yeah, I'm going to use a specific an office folder destroyed. That sounds better. Let's just move it here. It's a bit more to the point on what it's doing. So now on office folder destroyed, and I can use this one. I can put this one here. The updates can be removed. I only need one thing, which is the office folder ID. Then I can just do integer office folder ID. Office folder ID equals this. Then I can just remove the add change, will quantity, will everything else. The get notification thing can be removed too. Well, no, I have to use this, but office folder ID will be the right thing. Then I can use the class name here. Notification count 2 is not py integer. Office folder ID expected an integer as the first argument, and then I can just do this. office folder ID. An office folder destroyed, then I'm going to use a PY integer here instead of an integer. That way there's no boxing and nothing, anything there. Okay, so we have the an office folder destroyed, which we should be able to handle now. So another one, case, notification name, and then just create a new function for this. For now, and let's use the here, private void or handle. I should have named it right. Handle. That, then this change, and then here I should be able to find in the service manager inventory broker. I should be able, well, let me just double check that because I'm not sure where I'm keeping track of those bound objects. So it's calling, we said it was calling what specific? Get inventory from ID. Inventory from ID. Okay, and that's calling bind inventory. And then that's calling bound inventory dot bind inventory. This one should be a git because I changed that already. Bound inventory. Okay, and then it's binding the service, but I'm not keeping track of those anywhere. Yeah, I'm not doing that. That's a bit of a problem. So then how am I supposed to free that object? I mean, I do have the object ID. I can use that instead of the... well, no, I don't have it. The other server doesn't know about it. The other server won't have any idea of what ID that bound service has in the cluster. So then... bind service instance, then it gets a bound ID, build bound service string. Yeah, the bind inventory should have some way of tracking that. Otherwise, it's going to be impossible to handle stuff. And this is just a boatload of code here. This is a client bound service. Wait, I won't have access to that one in the service manager, right? Yeah, I don't. I will need to have access to it through the inventory broker. Well, yeah, the inventory broker should be the one having the references to it because it's the one actually creating this new bound inventory. I think it's only used here. I do have the meta inventory, but that's not the thing that I'm looking for. I mean, in theory, being the office folder ID, I can just keep track of the IDs. Yeah, that's an interesting thing now. What am I supposed to do here? Should this be handled by myself? Like in the inventory broker instead, and not do this bind inventory call? I mean, yeah, it's only used here, so I can just actually rip this out. So we can keep track of things there. I mean, this is all architected code too, so maybe it's better to do it this way instead. Both constructors are public. What is the difference between them? Session manager. Oh, one has the flag and one doesn't. Okay. But then, when is one used and when is the other used? Okay, so that one is not used for anything. Okay. Sure. ItemDB effects manager. This is going to be the item that we are going to bind to, which I'm guessing is the inventory. Then this is going to be items. This is going to be notification sender. This is going to be dogma notifications, and this is going to be bound service manager. Then I can get the bound service manager, bind service. Then I can build the bound string, and then I can just return the subtract here. So I have access to that in here. Let me just check, because I'm pretty sure that this should be changed to a git instead of being like that. So do we have any usages for it? Build bound service string. Let me just check how corp registry is handling it. Corp registry. Well, yeah, they go through the macho bind object. So that comes from the parent service. Macho bind object. Yeah, and that's a git. Exactly. Bound service information. So that should be updated too. I'm actually glad that I catch that, because that could have been a issue if we had two players at the same time open an inventory. So let's just take this to here, put it in there. There we go. And now we can keep track of the opened inventories. Yeah. Okay, so fork created Valkyrian 04. Okay, yeah, someone created a fork of the project. So with that, we have the object created. These two can be removed. I don't need that anymore. Now I have to check where's the multi-client bound service. Yeah, so that's just this two can be removed too. I don't know why I didn't remove it already. Okay, so inventory broker. So now I have to keep track of what objects we have access to, or what. Yeah. I mean, I can keep either a list of services and just loop through them, or I can just do a map and inside each value a list. That will be. I feel like that will be probably better. So let's just do something like public dictionary, and then we can use integer and list bound inventory. We use bound inventories as a key is item inventory ID, item ID, and values for all the bound inventories for that item ID. That will be, I mean, that will be enough for now, I think. Service manager, inventory broker, and I can just use bound inventories dot try get value. I can just do change dot office folder ID, use this to get the inventory, use this to get the thing out. Oops. Otherwise I can just do services in false, and if there's nothing found for that ID, I can just return. And now I can do bound inventory in services. For each one I can just do wait, do I have a function to destroy this? License change, claim has released this object. I have to add a function for that. I don't think I have functionality to let the server close an object. It's always the client, the one doing it. Well, no, I do have a functionality for that. Bound service manager is the one handling it. Unbind service and then bound inventory. But I do have to check what is this one doing. Bound service manager. That's not the right one. No services, this one. So Vin service and Vin service. Yeah, it's just removing it, but it's not notifying the player, hey, this service was unbound. So I feel like bound services should have a function for this, so we can force it on the client. Which is interesting actually, because now I have to notify the client about it. Okay, bound service, bound service, where's the original one? This one. So I can just do public abstract void, let's just call it unbind service, and then we can use this for bound service information, bound service manager, and then we can use this to destroys this service and registers it and notifies the owner of the reference player to let it know that it's not available anymore. But it's not available anymore. Okay. And then client bound service, this one has to implement it. I can remove this already too. And then this one can implement the new function. Generate code or writing members, unbind service. And then in the case of a client bound service, I do have the client that it belongs to, so I can use, but I do have to check how the server notifies the client, because I do have the way that the client notifies the server, but not the other way around. Client has released this object. This is the same way as the client is doing it for us. Client has released this object. Why is it not here? Client has wait, no, that's not the right name. Hold on. What's the name? What was the name? Update session attributes. Corporation chain, corporation member. Where's the service? Local Oh wait, client has released this. Oh, this. Oh yeah, it's this, not this. Oh, well, whatever. That's the right thing. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, it's using the same mechanism. I just have to check this, send the same notification the client sends me, but that's how am I supposed to build that? That's my question now. Let's release these objects. Public attributes updated. Object count with all these stars. I forgot my headphones. Wait on me if you need something important for questions. Okay. Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out things. Like, I don't think even anyone has looked into this one yet. Public attributes updated. So this is the notification that is being sent for updating stuff. And this one comes from a couple different places. Okay, let's just check the Maconet notifications. Well, no, that's not a notification. That's on Macho Object Disconnect. I'm guessing this is the right thing. Object ID, client ID, reference ID. Yes, I think that's the right one. Transport ID, client ID. But I'm not sure if this is to be used with the client or only with the server. Because this is, I mean, this service has a bit of a mess right now because it has both client and server code in here. So it's hard to know which one we are supposed to be looking into. There's no handling for that. Okay. Let me just double check that on Mac Object Disconnect. Unregistered Mac object. So Macho mode is not client, and yeah, so it's on Macho Object Disconnect. I feel like that's the right call. What is this unregistered Macho Object function being called? Let me just double check it. It's called from session.unregister Maco object and just disconnect from the session by the server. That's something that interests me. Disconnect object on session detach. Yeah, but that's not the thing that I'm looking for. Unregister Maco object connection. Object call. Yeah, and this is calling the right function. So yeah, I think that this is the thing that we have to send to the client. Let's just try it and see what happens. I can try with any service, I think. But yeah, let's just notifications. Then let's just create a new one. Pricing contracts, call character certificate. Yeah, let's just call a network. Let me just take this one for example. Paste it here. We can use that one as a basis. Okay. On order change, we can move it to the right place. We can do this. We can remove this, and then we can have object ID, which I'm guessing is the Unregistered Mac object. Where's that call? Unregistered. That's not the right one. Unregistered Mac object. Where is it? This one. Okay. So the object ID. I'm not so sure which one. Which object by ID. I have to check how that object ID thing is handled though. Because I'm not sure if it's the. Well, it should be the name, like the name of the PY string object ID. Let's just do it like, let's just try it like that and see what sticks. So one is the object ID. Then we have an then we have the reference ID, which is PY string public PY string reference ID, which we should have reference ID, and then the last thing needed for that notification on my object disconnect. What was the thing? Wait, object ID, client ID. But is it? Wait, is it here? Yeah. Okay. Client ID, which should be our ID, and then client ID. Okay. I don't remember which one how that ID is handled internally. PY string object ID, PY string PY integer client ID, PY string reference ID. This object ID equals object ID, this client ID equals client ID, this reference equals reference ID. Okay, and then I can just do object client reference like that on Mac object, and then I can just rename this file. And then where's the client one service here? Okay, so we can just do let me check. Oh, that's the cat scratching something. Yeah, he's a little bit obsessed with the tree sometimes on the chair that is alongside it. Okay, so what information does a service have? It has a session, which should give me a session. It doesn't have the client ID in here. How am I supposed to know the client ID? I remember that it was something specific. The account ID, I think. So that should be in the session. User type, bound object, corporation role, address, constellation. And he fell to the ground. Oh, hold on, let me just... Give me a second. And there it goes again. Okay. Hopefully it doesn't do that again. Yeah. Okay. So, user ID is the right one. Yes, that's the thing. Okay, I completely forgot what the one that I was looking for. So for that, let's just build this. Wait. Hold on. I have to build a new packet for this. Out of the... Well, it can be a notification. Well, but I have to give it extra stuff like the out of bounds information. Notification sender. Let me just check. Yeah. Otherwise I cannot send the... Well, I can add it to at least this one, because I do know that the notification type, ID type, yeah, this one is going to be a bit of a pain. Huh. Packet notification. I mean, for now, I'm just going to copy and paste this. I will build the right approach later on. Otherwise, I cannot progress. Properly implement and clean this up later. Then in here, data should be py tuple data equals new on Mako object disconnect, and then that will be bound string. I think that's the right one. Client ID, which is going to be session.user ID, and then the reference, which should be that should be the py string. That should be the right thing to do, and I can just create the packet with the right stuff in it. So for now, string ID, string, no, that's py list. Okay, so string ID type is session no, not character ID, client ID. Oh, I don't have that one. Client ID. Let's just put client ID manually, and then for py list IDs of interest, it's going to be py list, and then session.user ID. That will be the name. And then I don't have access to Mako here though. That should be through bound service manager, MakoNet. Yes, there we go. And then notification type, it's going to be the name of the notification, which is Mako object disconnect. That should be taken from the notification type. Yes, that should be taken from the notification name of the object. Okay. For now, let's just leave it hard coded. It doesn't really matter that much. Once that's working, then I can start implementing the right data structures and APIs for that. And I have to update all the bound services. So let's just check the multi-client bound service. This one is a bit more involved, but I should be able to get the sessions parent. Oh, I also have to remove ourselves from the bound service manager. Remove ourselves from the bound service manager. Bound service manager on bind service, this, and that should just remove it from the list as far as I remember. Bound service manager, there we go, and unbind service, and then it's just removed from the list, and there shouldn't be any reference to it. it would be an issue if there was any. Okay, so now the next one is where's the multi-client bound service? Here. So let's just implement that function. This one is going to be a bit trickier. Writing members, not resolve, but wait, what? Why is there no make code overriding members? Resolve unbind service, yeah, it's the right function. Okay, so now we have to implement this, but the thing now is that this thing cannot be built the same way, because that user ID is going to depend on each the session in this dot sessions. Then I have to build one object for each session. Sessions, like that, and then I can just do this. Use this one instead. Why is it complaining? Can you convert element key value pair? Oh, because it's an integer and then the session. Integer something, I don't care. Session, like that. Oops. Okay. I'll be right back.